Alright, question number 13. Find numbers of property for rent in each type. We know the property has different type. You have house type, flat, and then their total rent. So the first step is the information located in the property for rent. That's for sure. Number two is what kind of information we are interested in. We are interested in, number one, we group them by type. Then for each type, we are looking for the total rent. So we need to have a group by because we are looking for each type. So I say that using group by. Now be careful when you use group by. Then if you have regular field and you are in your select list, then because you are looking for the total, which is the sum of the rent, right? So you have sum parenthesis rent. But if you want to list out the regular field like type with the aggregate function, then this regular field, which is type, should be in your group by. That means if you have group of house, then you want to get the summation of the sum of all the rent for that group. So we group all the property by type first. Then we want to find out the summation, the sum of their rental. So that is the idea of group by. So let's look at the SQL. Okay, SQL here, we say that we want to select sum and type, or you can put type before sum. And then type has to be in group by because type is a regular field and sum is aggregate function. According to my lecture slides, if you have such kind of regular field and you want to be in part of the select list with an aggregate function, then you must put into a group by. However, we are interested in group them together by type and find the summation for each type. So that will be the solution, that select sum and type from property for rent and group by nowhere because we don't have any condition. Just want to find everything with that. Right. So you can see we group by flat and all the rent total is 1575. We group by house, maybe a couple of houses, and then we sum up all the rental. Alright, let's go to question number 14. For each type of property for rent with more than 2 properties. And then we want to find number of properties for rent in each type and their total rent. So we want to count if this group, when you count it, is more than 2 properties. And then we want to what? We want to find how many of these properties. And also, we want to find their total rental. Right. So, number one, you need to have a group by. But your condition in group by, you have to use having. In regular condition, you are using where. But if you have group, and you want to confine some condition for each group, then you gotta use having. You can combine with where, but in our case, we want to find a count. In each group, when you count it, it's greater than 2 properties. Then we keep it. In this case, this is something relating to the group by. Then you gotta use having. So my answer for this is yes. You select count. Number one, you got to say group by. So you group the property by type. And then for each group, you want to count how many. So you have a count. Of course, you can have a type, so you know which type. And then you want to say sum of their rental for each type. Now you want to confine the count for each group. You want to confine. You want to have criteria for count. Then you got to use having, because having is going to create the condition for each group. So your count greater than 2 means when you count it greater than 2, then you want to keep it. So that will be the solution. When you run it, and then you will say, only flat tab, you have 4, so you keep it, right? And then you just count their sum. All right, that is a discussion. Till Saturday, probably afternoon, and when you have time, then we can have discussion. All right, my recording is here. Thank you.